Hey everybody, there's three facets to this video and I want to make sure you want to stay around or at least pick and choose the things that you wanted to look at. So we're going to look at a haul, a partial haul from the videos from last weekend that I never got around to doing before I pulled in the stuff from this weekend. And then there's a few items that shipped out on a slow day, and then after that we have some pennies that I had a friend of mine take a look at that were at the bottom of a jewelry box that I had bought 3 weekends ago at the yard sales I went to with Deals and Dives. So check out all three parts of this video and stick around to the end. It's pretty interesting. Hello everybody, did not have a chance this week to do a haul video, and to be honest with you, I had so much stuff. We were so jam-packed in that truck that I couldn't even begin to fit everything in here to start doing a haul video anyways. So I just picked a few things real quick, and I'm kind of flying blind through these things, but I want to give you a little bit closer of a view of some of the items we bought last week. And we spent under $200 and we bought tons and tons and tons of stuff. I mean, I filled half of the side shed up with stuff going to the booths and didn't even bring it in here. I've got stuff out on the back porch that I hadn't even brought in yet. And this is just some of the interesting things that I pulled off the top that I thought you'd want to take a look at. And I haven't even looked them up, except for one, and that's this capital bread sign. So let's take a look. Always start with my wife's beautiful sign there. So take a look over here. We bought these in that one yard sale, if you recall, where they had tons of deals. We just bought tons and tons of stuff. This one right here, I think we paid $3, I think is what we paid for these. This one right here, and it says Richmond, Virginia on it. It says celery, I think is what it's called. Chelf's Celery Caffeine, and Richmond, Virginia. And this one is selling on eBay for around 30 bucks. So all of this other stuff, once we sell that one on eBay, most of this will go in the booth. This is a tiny little Vicks bottle. I don't know what that's worth, but we'll put these in the booth and make some money, but we're making our profit off of this one. A couple of milk glasses, both local. So because they're local, they'll have a little bit of value, but nothing special. We'll make a couple of bucks on them. This guy we bought at the Fun at the Flea, and we paid a couple bucks for it. And this one goes online because it's brand new in the plastic. Goes online for about 40 bucks. That's a really nice buy. You know, these are kind of bread and butter things. These will probably sell in the booth. I could sell them online as well. Probably going to put them in the booth and make, you know, probably quadruple our money on them. Paid a couple, put $7-8 bucks on them. Should sell. These we bought at that jewelry sale. We bought a bunch of jewelry at, and these were 50 cents a piece. And they go, this one will go for about $20, and this one will go for about $15. And they are Dooney and Burke. If you can see that there. All right. And this little pumpkin was cheap. We've sold a couple of these, so they'll sell for a few bucks in the booth. This is Panasonic, and so if you're looking for VCRs, they're not all great, but whenever you see the Panasonic 4 heads, they're usually pretty darn good, and they'll go for a good price. Test them, clean them, put some blank media with them, and you're good to go. I don't know why I bought this. I've never bought anything quite like this before. These do sell on eBay, but I'm going to put it in the booth because I don't want to hassle with the shipping. And this item, I don't know, it'll probably, I think we'll probably list it for $15 to $25. I'll let Blue Ridge Mama decide. It's a neat little ashtray. I don't think it has much value. Haven't looked it up, but I thought it was neat just because of the dog on it. I figured somebody'd want it in the booth for $5-6 bucks. And it's made in Ireland, so I like that one. I buy these all the time, some on eBay, some in the booth. Some Revere wear back there, and that sells on eBay. And I've never put it in the booth, but it probably sell in the booth. Tommy Trout, here's a little bolo for you. These Tommy Trouts go pretty good, sometimes up to 25 bucks. These Popples, and my wife told me about these, and we sold one for a bunch of money not too long ago. I haven't looked this one up, and it's in pretty rough shape, so it's going to need a little bit of cleaning, maybe even a run through the washing machine. But the Popples sell, and even the little ones sell, so we didn't pay much. We paid 50 cents, I think, and it should go for a decent amount, but I haven't looked it up. These were $2 a piece at that one sale. This is, I think it's Brown and Bigelow, I think, prints. And for $2, I mean, we can get a little bit of money in the booth if the print's not worth anything. Michelob sign, $2. Again, probably put it in the booth. You could probably get $30 on eBay for it, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if I want to fuss with that or not on eBay, or put it in the booth and see what happens. These were next to nothing. We got a whole box of books for $1, so these are probably, oh, maybe a penny a piece. I mean, that's how much we paid. So these will probably go in the booth. I may put them in the, I may put them up on eBay. We'll see those particular ones. Fun to Learn library. I'm not sure I've sold those. This one has a little damage. But even at $1 a piece in the booths, they should sell fairly quick. Application Life Bible was $3. It's basically brand new condition. So we'll probably sell that one on eBay. We bought a ton of Harley stuff. Matter of fact, we've sold some of this stuff off already. I just wanted to show you that that was from that yard sale as well. Really nice condition, really solid stuff, heavy material, and that'll probably go for around $35, but we're gonna make $100 off of that Harley stuff minimum. I thought this was kind of neat. We threw it in one of those boxes at that garage sale. A cluttered desk is a sign of genius. And this is Fire King, I think. Oh, no, it's not. I take it back. Glass Bake USA. So, I don't know. We might even use it. Bought this for $0.25. These are good for right around 15 to 20 bucks for the Star Wars bobbleheads from the Hillcats. Got these, I think, for 50 cents a piece, which is a steal for these particular type mason jars. I see them in the booths in Needful Things. I've seen them in a couple of different people's booths, and they have like $16, $18 on them, which I think is a little high, but so we put them in there for $12. We're making a bunch of money on them. Some more Thomas Road Baptist Church Old Time Gospel Hour stuff for next to nothing in those $1 boxes of books. Paid 50 cents at the yard sale for that Longhorn belt buckle. Bought these for a couple bucks a piece, which I normally wouldn't do, but you know what? We've sold a few of these lately, and so we'll put 6, 8, 10 bucks on these. Something like that. I can't remember what she's been putting on them. Ton of Mary Kay stuff for a good deal. Those are testers. These are all brand new. So we've been making tons of money on Mary Kay. I expect to keep making it. This sign is the creme de la creme of the signs. This is the one I wanted, and this sign right here will come close to paying for almost everything we bought the whole day. Not just everything you see here, but everything that's in the sheds, everything that we've sold on eBay already. These are listed out there. I think this one in particular is probably close to $150 sign, and it's in really good shape too. Got the nice little vintage look to it. It is vintage. Made in the USA. So I'm thinking $150. I could be wrong about that, but I think I looked it up while we were at the sale, and that's what they're going for. I think 50 cents, I think, for this Lego brand new in the box. Got these, a whole box of these, like 18 of these for $1. And they're selling. They're selling fairly good on eBay for around 20 bucks a piece. So we're going to make a killing on that box. And this was $2 as well. This is not vintage, but it's really neat, and it has like a $40 price tag on it. I'm not sure what we'll do with it. Probably going to put it in the booth for 15 bucks or so. Somebody wants to make a movie room or something like that. This walking stick, they wanted $3 for it. I think we paid $2. Really good condition. We'll probably put 8 or 9 on it and put it in the booth. Paid $7 for this sled. I think, I don't know, you have to tell me out there, booth people. I think we'll probably put 20, maybe around 25, should sell around Christmas. This guy right here, is this a trombone? And they asked $5. I think we may have paid $5 for it or bundled it together. They got such great deals, we didn't get much. So this is Galprin Music Shop, Charleston, West Virginia. It does work. It is old. I figured for $5 we ought to be able to at least make 15 off of it somehow. And there's another sign, Budweiser King of Beer sign. Got a deluxe Scrabble game. Those always sell really good. And we got a few of these racks for some media in our booth. So that's just, I would say that this haul right here, what you're looking at right here, is about 1/3 of the value of everything we bought. Now, it's about 1/4 of the volume of what we bought, but it's about 1/3 of the value. So we're going to have a really good day, and this is the main reason why. Hello everybody, just wanted to show you something. I bought these in that jewelry box from a few weeks ago at a yard sale, and if you remember, we had the Piedmont stamps in that jewelry box, and then also at the bottom of the jewelry box was all these old wheat pennies from I think the 1920s, 1930s. So I have a friend here at school who is a coin guy and knows quite a bit. So I thought I'd bring him to him, and I'm going to introduce you to him, and then he's going to tell us what we have. So this is Bryce. He's my coin guy, and he's going to tell us what we have. How you doing, Bryce?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, all right.
Well, I was really happy when Kevin asked me about, if I could take a look at some of his wheat pennies. And one of the interesting things is if you guys ever see wheat pennies, they are all worth more than a penny because they're actually made out of copper. Up until 1982, actually, all pennies were actually made from copper. Afterwards, they started to put more zinc in them, and because copper was worth more than 1 cent. So if you ever see a penny from 1982 and back, that's actually worth more than a penny just because of the metal. Now, one of the things when Kevin asked me to go through this, if you are ever looking for collecting for wheat pennies, several things that you have to look for. If they ever have a little marking on the front that is either a D or a S, those are actually more valuable than the ones that have nothing on them. All of them are usually about like $3 to $4. Some are even less depending on condition. But the thing is, if you ever see a wheat penny and it has a D or an S on it, those are usually always wanted by collectors of someone who's really trying to gather all pennies.
And that's because of where they're made, right?
Yes, exactly. Because there was 3 mints that pennies were actually made at. One, the Philadelphia, the San Francisco, and the Denver. S is from San Francisco, which if you ever see a wheat penny with an S on it, those are usually the most valuable ones because that was the smallest mint. The P, or if it has nothing on the front of it, that's from Pennsylvania. That was actually the most popular one. Now, one of the cool things is when Kevin asked me to look at this, I actually found 2 wheat pennies that had a D and an S on them that were made in the 1930s. And each one of these little pennies right here, this is a 35D, which is goes right now in the market around like $3 to $4. So you have a penny that's worth more than a penny. But that's on collector's value. The other one that he saw was a 39S, and I told you guys about the S. If you ever see the wheat pennies with an S, those are usually the more rare ones and the more desirable for anybody who's actually collecting and wants to complete their collection. Now, the gold mine that Kevin found here were these things called an error coin. Now, an error coin is a coin that the mint makes that is a mistake. And these things could range from anywhere from 50 to thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're probably like, well, how do I know that somebody just didn't make one up and create it, or they're just old? There's certain things that the US Mint has to do when they make a mistake, and they have to record it. So when you're looking for error coins, there are certain years where they have error coins. The most popular among pennies is called the 1955 double die. And what a double die is, it's a coin that is actually pressed twice when they were making them in the mint. So it kind of gives a kind of illusion, like if someone hits you on the back of the head and you're seeing stars and things get blurry, they look like that. Now, one of the things that you could tell with a double die is, with the double die, there were certain years. One that the penny has was 1936. And Kevin actually found 2 of them in here. And the condition...
No, I didn't find them on purpose, y'all.
Yeah.
He found them. I just gave him a pile of pennies I found in the bottom of a jewelry box.
Now, if you're ever looking for these valuable coins, there's certain years that you have to know that they have recorded. You know, there's the 1936, there's the 1955, which are the 2 most popular ones. But when you find them, what you have to see is, when you look at the 36, a lot of the times it looks really like smushed, like, you know, like almost marshmallow kind of like. Now, the difference that you could tell that it is a double die and it's not just worn out is you also have to look at the back. And coin people call that the reverse. The front of the coin they call an obverse, and the back of the coin they call a reverse. Well, when the double die came, it was only on the obverse where they made the mistake. So when you're looking at it, you look at the number, and you also look at just instances within in detail within the linking, within the lettering. If the lettering looks like it's like squished together, that's another indication that it's a double die. Then when you go to the back, unfortunately, we have it in the plastic, but when you look at the back, there's none of that on there. So this is actually a double die. This is a 36 double die, and right now in the coin market, with the condition that this is in, it goes for about $175. Now, the sad thing about coins is it could be worth that much, but always be prepared to get probably about half of that, because collectors and people that are always looking for a deal, and they're always looking for a way to be able to make more money, or this is the treasure that I found.
Right. So it's reasonable to think we could get $50 to $60 on eBay fairly easily.
Exactly.
Okay. What about the other one? All right. Show us the second one.
The second one is also a double die. It has the same elements as the first one does. And if you're ever confused and you're like, well, how do I know that it's just not a regular penny or regular 1936? Well, a lot of times you could also look online, but also when you compare it to another 1936, you're able to tell the difference. Mm-hmm. But you really have to study and analyze it to be able to tell it. And the more that you do it, the better you get at it, and the more you're able to tell the difference.
Right. And you were telling me yesterday there's a lot of phonies out there for some of these, and so which is the most faked one, and how can you tell?
Oh, the most faked one is probably the most popular and the most valuable double die, which is the 1955. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times you could tell if someone is selling it at a flea market and they're selling it for $100 to $200 or mm-hmm. something of that nature, it's a fake. And usually, if it's really, really like, they call it the luster, which is a fancy word for really, really shiny. That's another indication. And also, too, people do things called cleaning coins. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, that actually hurts the value.
Right.
So when someone gets a coin and they're like, hey, I'm just going to clean it up, and mm-hmm. that actually hurts the value of it because it's taken away from it. Now, if it's dirty, my suggestion is you could probably get just a cotton cloth and try to take some of that out. But you never want to put any chemicals, any soap, mm-hmm. especially on copper. Because what's going to happen if you try to wet copper? It's going to turn what? Going to look like the Statue of Liberty. It's going to turn. Tell me. So this is why the PSA stuff is coming out. Is it PSA? Do I have that right? Well,
certification.
There's several certification companies, and the certification companies, they actually authenticate it to make sure
it's not a fake.
that it's not. Now, the sad part about the certification companies is it costs some money. Sure. If you have a coin that's worth $5-6 and it's a penny, mm-hmm. you're always going to get that certified mm-hmm. because it's about $20 to $30 for mm-hmm. each coin to be certified. Right. And then depending on who they're called graders, mm-hmm. depending on who your grader is, there might be a disagreement, and they might make it less or they might make it more. Mm-hmm. If you ever see them that are certified, I encourage you guys, if it's a coin that's worth more than $300-400, to get it certified. Mm-hmm. But if it's anything less, just learning about it and knowing people who know about it will give you a good.
So tell us what, and the rest of these are just worth a little bit more than face value, right?
Yep.
How much are we looking at here?
Right now, with how copper is, mm-hmm. they're anywhere between 5 to 25 cents each.
Okay. All right. So hey, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let you keep these for being my helper today, and I'm gonna buy you lunch. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
Thank you so much. We're gonna get these sold eventually. And we'll keep you updated on what we got for them. So thank you, Bryce, for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Kevin.